Representative Justin Jones was expelled by the Tennessee House of Representatives today, and two more Democrats could also be removed from office. The Republican majority is seeking to expel them for taking part in an anti-gun protest inside the state's Capitol. The state reps joined protesters who flooded the House chamber following the mass shooting at a private school in Nashville last week. CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns joins me now to discuss it. So, Caitlin, just walk us through what this means. They voted to expel one Democratic lawmaker, which seems like a very severe punishment for, no question, breaking the rules, but breaking the rules in a fairly mundane way. They participated in a protest on the state legislature's floor. So is this person now gone?
Right. Well, this person is now expelled, which means their constituents won't have representation.
For how long?
A special election has to be called by the governor, so that's uncertain. If all three of them end up being expelled, that's about 200,000 people who won't have representation in the state legislature. State legislature, which, by the way, is not too far away from that Covenant School in Nashville, where this shooting occurred, as you mentioned, just a week ago. I was just listening to the House floor and those speaking in defense of these lawmakers. And they were making the point that this is just a huge, not even a sanction, just beyond what you would normally do in any sort of circumstance. One lawmaker speaking in defense was essentially saying people have done worse and have gotten away with worse. And what's really interesting here is that this is a measure that is hardly taken. I was just looking at the Tennessean, and they said that this happened once in 2016. That person was expelled for sexual misconduct, another in 1980. But before that, it hadn't happened since the Civil War. So there really isn't a big precedent for this. This is really history making. You need about 2/3 majority to vote them out, and they surpassed that number. And this is an issue, of course, that we've seen is especially raw, especially emotional. One of the lawmakers who's facing expulsion was a teacher herself. So speaking to that kind of issue. So just extraordinary what is happening on this floor right now.
And as you pointed out, it doesn't just affect these lawmakers. It affects every person who voted for them, basically saying your votes don't matter. And we've covered U.S. Congress for years, and we've seen all kinds of shenanigans on the House floor. And you imagine if everyone who participated in a protest got kicked out of Congress, we'd have very few members of Congress at this point. There are a lot of other punishments available to the state legislature that don't go as far as expelling a member of the legislature, a duly elected member of the legislature.
Exactly. And we've seen instances before in state houses where people have been censured, reprimanded, taken off committee assignments. But you bring up a really interesting point, which is that you cannot do this in U.S. Congress. You cannot expel a member of Congress unless you have 2/3 majority, but that's such a high bar.
Right.
In Tennessee, Republicans have a super majority. So getting to that threshold was much easier. But it's, speaks to, and you can see on the protests that have happened as well. It speaks to this issue that we've been talking about for the past week of what do you do in the wake of a mass shooting? What can Congress do? What can state legislatures do? And here is an example of someone who their defense, Representative Jones, said, he was speaking on behalf of his constituents who felt like they needed this kind of voice in the chamber at that point.
What argument are the Republicans who pushed this expulsion through making on the floor of the state legislature today for why they felt it was necessary to take this step?
Well, they have said that this breached protocol, breached the rules. There have been some quotes comparing it to an insurrection of sorts. Of course, this is by no means comparable because you haven't had, many people arrested.
This was a peaceful protest.
This was a peaceful protest. It was essentially going to the well of the chamber, these three. And Representative Jones was the one that happened to be speaking first. And so he is first up here. They needed 2/3 majority, and they really, they outpaced the number that they needed.
Right. And there's no question that in recent years there has been increased tension over security issues surrounding state legislatures, the U.S. Capitol, more threats. You can understand why tempers would be riding high.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, this is an example, though, of a situation where, you know, there was also video, and then there are also concerns about how that video was taken and whether that taking that video breached any sort of decorum as well. So that's also some of the battle lines that have been discussed here. But we're waiting to see what happens with these two other lawmakers. But again, you know, just huge reaction, especially when you have, you know, a lot of the country wondering what to do legislatively in the wake of school shootings, whether it's restrictions on guns, heightened security at schools. This seems to be the course of action that this particular legislature is taking.
Wow. Well, it's really startling to see, and clearly a disappointment for all those Tennesseans who cast those votes. Caitlin Huey-Burns, thank you so much for getting us up to speed. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.